Way at Wagga Wagga, waiting for the green twinkling light. Mr. Chris Paul is our official starter today, and he accelerates the mobile away. They're off and racing. Coming out quickly was Coming In Hot, and it's going to try and find the lead. Reeby Beach's driver's there at the moment, but I think he might be content to hand up as Coming In Hot races up on his outside early, but now Hallcroft pushes through and Reeby Beach will lead. Now one of them's missed it hopelessly, and that is Bar Na Na, who's taking virtually no further part in the affair as they go to the back and find their positions now. Reeby Beach driven up hard from an inside slot lead. Fantasy Blaster second. Coming In Hot looked for the lead. Wasn't quick enough to get it. And now works outside them. Three back on the outside. They were being followed by A Good Ideal. And the next pacer then was Son of a Sis, who covered up Soho Beijing. Further back was Dracula's favourite, Love at First Bite. And they were being followed then by Isn't That Right? Well back in the field then was Smoke and Tally. Last of the main bunch was Royal Admiral, and 60 metres off them. Further back in the field was another one who's well back, and that's Peculiar Pete, and it's another 150 metres off them to the other one just going round for exercise purposes, and well back in the field is that one as well. As they came up towards the top corner, Banana was the one who's right back out of it, and coming into the straight now to get the bill. Reeby Beach down near the inside has had most of the favours and is going to be the leader with a lap to play. Reeby Beach on top for Shane Hallcroft by 1 3/4 metres or maybe 2 metres. On its back then raced Fantasy Blaster, who's had a nice soft run. Now Coming In Hot's on the outside as they made the bottom corner, and further back raced A Good Ideal. It was being followed by Soho Beijing, inside Son of a Sis, and then Love at First Bite. They were followed by Isn't That Right? And further back raced Smoke and Tally, followed by Royal Admiral, and well back then to Peculiar Pete and also Banana as they've gone inside the 600. The sectionals are 31 and 7, 30 and 4, and Reeby Beach looked to travel strongly in the lead for Hallcroft. This leader's out by 5 metres and is going strongly. On its back is its main danger probably, and that is Fantasy Blaster. Now Isn't That Right is coming 3 and 4 wide around the outside of Soho Beijing. Coming In Hot's there but struggling, and further back then raced A Good Ideal as they came inside the 400. 28 and 3 was the back straight quarter. Isn't That Right? Fantasy Blaster are both quickly getting out after Reeby Beach, who's under pressure but still led. Reeby Beach in the lane. Fantasy Blaster is looking. Soho Beijing goes for the inside. Isn't That Right's on the outside. A good finish in the first of the day. Isn't That Right found the lead out wide. And Isn't That Right? Isn't That Right got the job done. Isn't That Right as one from A Good Ideal, who came hard late. Now up behind those were Soho Beijing with Reeby Beach and Smoke and Tally, and further back then over on the inside was Fantasy Blaster, had its chance from Love at First Bite. Coming In Hot. Well back was Royal Admiral. Also well back in the field was Peculiar Pete, and there's 2 more coming. I don't know what happened to Son of a Sis. It was in a lovely position at the bell. It's going to walk across the line second last, and just up in front of it was Banana, and they have finished at long and distant intervals in the first of the day, but the one that's finished on top is the favourite, Isn't That Right, driven by Ian Butt.